Last week, Malacañang appointed two new COMELEC commissioners to help the poll body resolve pending cases before the May polls. One of them is Attorney Luie Guia, Executive Director of the Legal Network for Truthful Elections, or Lente. Attorney Guia, thanks for joining us this morning.
My pleasure.
Very interesting background. You worked at the COMELEC.
I did work at
from
the COMELEC.
1992 to 1998.
Yes, I did.
And then you joined NAMFREL.
I was a volunteer.
from
before and
NAMFREL.
after
All
my
right.
COMELEC stint.
Consortium for Electoral Reform, CER.
Yes.
Libertas, and the Legal Network for Truthful Elections, Lente. And you're pushing for campaign finance reporting,
Campaign finance reform. Yeah.
political party strengthening, and capacity building.
Those were our advocacies.
How are you going to do that coming into the Commission on Elections
Well, being an insider now of the Commission on Elections, what I can do perhaps was to improve election management, because that's the main function of an election commission. I mean, managing election, running
Correct.
elections, making it more efficient, more effective. There are reforms that can be done outside of the commission, or that can be pushed from outside of the commission, and some of them will even require legislative amendments, some constitutional amendments. So obviously those are beyond the things that we can do inside the commission. So perhaps right now I'm going to push for some of those that we can do inside the commission. Of course, I will just be one of the 7 commissioners.
Of course. Top 3 things, Attorney Guia.
Capacitate the bureaucracy of the COMELEC, perhaps. I mean, we are in the era of modernized election. Modernized meaning technology is now inevitable in running elections, voters lists, and all those things. But you need a bureaucracy that is capable of responding to the needs of a modernized election. Modernized also in the sense that the new trend worldwide today in election administration is having a transparent and accountable electoral process. Accountable meaning when there are complaints, there are quick solutions, results are audited and verified. Transparent meaning there should be more involvement by the public, by the political parties and all the other stakeholders in the process of designing policies for running elections.
Being with the Legal Network for Truthful Elections and now coming into the Commission on Elections, what are the top 3 priorities in your mind coming into the elections? This is what I want to do.
Yeah, that's difficult. It's really because coming from the civil society side, we sort of see things in should I say in general. I mean, now I have to go into specifics because you have to go to the nitty-gritty of running elections. Perhaps what can go into my mind right away would be in Lente, we have done works with the indigenous peoples in Mangya, in the Mangyan area in Mindoro and in other areas. We've heard their complaints, their problems in election, like the fact that they've been herded near election day in some place so that politicians can control them.
Okay.
Maybe these are the things that I can immediately, sort of make the commission agree to prioritize.
In terms of systemic solutions, when you talk about reform, what do you think about the automation process, for example?
Well, automation became necessary because of our complicated election, political process. So you need the help of machine and technology to make the process more efficient and easier for the voters to use. But it is also important that elections be transparent.
Right.
Meaning people should be convinced that their votes have been counted correctly, that their votes have been tabulated correctly, and the right winner is proclaimed. So I think the most important thing is to invite people to observe the process, to understand the automation. Well, I came in barely 30 days or maybe 20 days before
the
election,
elections,
so
yes.
I don't know if I can,
Not very much you can do.
about the process.
About the process.
What I plan on perhaps suggesting to the Election Commission would be to make sure that complaints on anomalies and miscounting and all those things get to be responded on quickly, and the people would have an avenue by which they can raise their issues, and to document all issues relating to the process for purposes of planning for the next election.
Campaign finance reporting after the elections, how can we strengthen that? Do we still have that chance now, 18 days before the elections?
That is one thing that I think the Commission on Elections have prepared very well in this election compared to the other elections. 3 resolutions, important resolutions, have been issued by the Commission way before the election, and the committee headed by Commissioner Christian Robert Lim is really doing a lot on this, and audits are being planned after elections, because as you know, the candidates are required to submit reports. Business firms to whom candidates have contracted for the election propaganda have to submit their reports. Even donors have to submit their reports. So what I mean is that there's a way by which you can look at all these reports and find out who's telling the truth or who's not, or who might have exceeded the report. And there are also ways by which COMELEC can verify whether, let's say, the airtime limits, and that's another problem now,
Right.
Have been exceeded by candidates or parties.
Well, Attorney Guia, we wish you luck in your new post.
I need all the luck and prayers, of course.
Yes, you do. Thank you very much for coming to the studio this morning. Another look at the weather and traffic around the metro and Solar Daybreak returns. Keep it here on the Solar News Channel.